Hello and welcome back to One My name's Beast and we're back with a new project. One I've talked about before since the fan disc for this one is gonna come up soon. The game's called Sky Full of Stars. I already really like the menu. Also, there's a gallery already in place, so I don't have to worry about the thumbnail, which is nice. Anyways, also you can already look at the BGM. Also, I'm already getting fucking achievements for looking through this. I already messed about with the settings, but I think I need to turn down the... Oh, it didn't save any of them. How nice. I'll put that up. SE but down. That amount at the same level as that. There we go, that should be fine. So, usual housekeeping. Down in the description you can find both my Discord server and my stream profile. And as for the backgrounds, the roulette as usual. On the left hand side we got Natsume's wedding from Hoshio to Yume Mirai, and on the right hand side we have... Oh, I didn't check beforehand, but now I see it, and it's Koki embracing crying Sakuragi. I don't want to spoil why. Just go get Wagamama High Spec. I really enjoyed it, and Sakuragi may be one of my favorite characters. Like, she's an actually great tsundere. Like, she doesn't take being a tsundere too far. Also, okay, the BGM needs to be more quiet. There we go. Anyways, let's start. Intriguing. What is happening? This is a very nice sequence. This is a very nice, like, dialogue box. I really like the design of this. Revert to previous choice. Huh. There's also like to next choice button. Okay, so you can refer to the previous choice, but not to the skip to the next choice. Nice. This is Akito. What the fuck are you? How about you riddle me that first? I mean, sure, we saw Hikari, but rubbing the sleep from my eyes, I opened the foggy window when the cold breeze blew in and touched my face, it sent a chill down my spine. This game is really pretty! It is really, really pretty! But when I saw the stars twinkling outside, I finally snapped wide awake. Hold on, I need to just select this, kinda like... Doesn't seem to be something I can do right now. Oh well. Hold on. When I saw this, it snapped me wide awake, I already read that. Yeah! My grandpa's just like Octo, my boy, is just like jumping down the stairs, just body checking the door. Where the fuck you going? Well, Hikari and I, and see you later. No explanation whatsoever. Also, I have beer. Okay, quiet down a bit. Jesus. I rushed off, pedaling my bike with all my strength, and found Hikari waiting at the usual bridge. She was running around in circles like a dog chasing its own tail. As she yelled, her breath came out in clouds of white. Messiah! I'm guessing this is them as kids, so I'm not gonna try to modify my voice a bit to make him sound a little bit more childish. If we don't hurry, the sun will come up on us! I worried and looked at the eastern sky, but it was still so dark. I never would have known it was almost dawn if she hadn't said so. I think these two are the characters that I was explicitly told, do them last, or you're gonna have another Maho problem. Maho, and for those who don't know what I'm talking about, Maho is a character in Sankaku Renai, Triangle of Love Trouble. Love Triangle Trouble, I mean. And basically, I dropped the game after one route because I couldn't enjoy the game anymore after that route because I felt too bad for her. Because first off, I really liked her as a character, and second off, something in the story happens that basically makes me so fucking bad for her in all the other routes. So I just couldn't enjoy the game anymore, and so I just kind of dropped it. Anyways, hold on, I'm gonna have to do this real quick. Thing is, one of the people in the server that I mentioned earlier, very obsessed with Saya. Like, that's like the big reason why I know her. Like, he just won't shut up about it. Like, I'm making it sound a bit too much. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. Hop on! We put our stuff in the basket and Sarah climbed onto the cargo rack. Then Hikari climbed on as well, holding on to Saya from behind. Like they're just on the same bike as three people. Let's fucking go. Hikari squeezed Saya even closer to me, even though she was already pressed into my back. That was adorable. Like, they very much look to be like, in this point in time, look to be about the age of my little sister. So it just gives me this protect, as well as, by God, they can be annoying vibe. Because, to all y'all who don't know, my little sister, well, you know, don't fucking touch her, or I will goddamn cave your head in. By God, she can be annoying occasionally. But then again, what siblings aren't annoying? Yeah! Put my feet on the pedals and guided my bike across the bridge onto the dark mountain road beyond. Like I'm like reading his actual spoken lines in this kitty voice, but then like the thoughts just like this my usual grown-up voice, which I do believe has at least some semblance of manliness to it. I would like to imagine, at least. Anyways, we suddenly picked up speed and went flying through the wind. The wind was so frigid in our faces, it was more cold. It was more than cold, it was painful! Saya, press your face into my back! Oh my god, it makes us like seem like imagine this being his back like, Saya, press your face in my back. Alright! This didn't work out well! Just like smushing her nose against it. With the weight of 3 people, the bike was too heavy to keep climbing the hill with its rough, broken asphalt. As the slope got steeper, I lost more and more power. Hikari! Help me out! As we slowed down, Hikari jumped off the back, grabbed a cargo rack and started pushing. Saya, hold on tight! With a burst of added speed, our bike left the mountain road and passed through an overgrown meadow, heading into the middle of the forest. When the trail finally became too much for the bike, we threw it aside and set out on foot. And soon the forest gave way to... This game is already really pretty. I like it. Like a lot. A large black silhouette resting quietly in the dark, as if it were a sleeping beast. That's a train. Choo-choo, motherfucker! I'm ruining the moment immediately. It was train car. We were at a train station clinging to the mountain slope. It felt deserted, but not only because it was so early. No one used the station anymore. It was totally abandoned. I'm gonna be honest, like the train station I go to feels abandoned, yeah. Like the building looks somewhat decrepit. Like the only thing there is basically like some administration, like taking care of it at least a little bit, and then a machine to buy tickets. Nothing else. Like the fuck, there's like a room to go into if it gets too cold outside, but by god, it stinks in there. And it's fucking dirty as shit. Anyways, Hikari climbed up on the roof of the decommissioned train car, standing at the platform. Her voice sounds familiar. Hold on. Anime? Oh, for some reason it showed me like Saya like the thing is I know her name. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Saya Amanogawa. And so I was quite confused when it like showed me Saya Amanogawa. Saya anime. Like what? There's an anime of this? I'm not fucking hear that. Anyways, Yukina Meguri. Let's see. Best characters. Anything I think I recognize? At least someone in the Couple 3, but I've never played the Couple 3 or watched the anime for it. Someone in Clover Days, I wouldn't know that. Huh, guess I was mistaken. Weird. Matayoshi Ai. Maybe it's like an anime I recognize her from? Let's see. Doesn't look it. Oh well. Saya finally made it out of the forest trail and approached the platform. Come on, take my hand! Gave Saya a hand since she couldn't climb up on her own. Watch your step. Whoop. Hikari grabbed Saya's hand from above as she lost her footing almost immediately. I'm taking that. Hikari is gonna be like an athletic girl. With our help, Saya finally climbed onto the roof and followed after. I followed after. What do you think, Hikari? While she waited for me to climb up, Hikari scanned the horizon. From here, our field of view was wide open. We could see all the way to the distant sea. However, to naked eye, the sky was still as dark as midnight. It was hard to make out the sea from the sky. Even so, the sky was clear and countless tiny points of lights twinkled above. Hold on. No more child voice. Hikari was searching for the morning star among them. Which one? In the eastern sky, just above the horizon, the crescent moon draws its slender arc. Just next to it, shining with a light unmatched even by the sky's only fixed star, Sirius, was a single bright point. We spread out our equipment and quickly started getting ready. Don't rush us! We set up the tripod and the stand. Next, with practiced hands, we assembled the telescope. It wasn't difficult. When we finished, I pointed the telescope at the star we had just looked at and looked through the finder scope. I centered it on that shining heavenly body. Then I looked through the eyepiece. However, I didn't see the object in my field of vision. It was because the finder scope optical axis wasn't aligned. I would just have to rely on my own senses to hone in on the heavenly body. Vixen. Oh boy. To any of those who don't know, Vixen. Like that word, just saying that can mean, wanking in Germany. So yeah, It's waning. There it is, Venus! Hold on. I changed out the lens to increase the magnification and adjusted the focus. The blurry figure of Venus leaped into clarity. That's definitely Venus! It's waning, it's so bright! Oh, hush, here you go. She really sounds familiar! What the fuck? No bully. After we took turns looking through the telescope, I opened our notebook and handed it to Saya. While Hikari held the flashlight for her, Saya drew a sketch of Venus. In star observation, you don't just stop after viewing an object once. You have to note how the object moves, how it looks, how it changes, or doesn't change. Keep records over days, over weeks. This book was our planetary observation journal. I would never know. You would never know without looking through a telescope, but Venus waxed and waned like the moon. Its apparent size could change sixfold. Its location in the sky also changes, so there were times where you couldn't see it at all. We kept the record for ages, but lately, we hadn't been able to see the planets due to rain and clouds. It had been 2 weeks since our last entry. Very soon, Venus would begin rising later and later, and it would be difficult to see. So that's why we had to hurry today. The forecast for this morning had been overcast again, so I hadn't given up without setting my alarm for the usual time and went to bed. But for whatever reason, Hikari ignored the forecast and woke up early. We owed her big time.
お月様みたいだね。
Looking through the telescope, Venus was so bright it was almost blinding, and it was waning like the moon. Saya drew that shape carefully. As she did, the sky gradually began to lighten. It was dawn. It was 6 in the morning, coldest part of the day. So cold, even the slightest breeze felt like it was freezing you. 3 of us huddled together to fight the cold.
私チョコ持ってるよ。
And I brought some bread for breakfast.
温かいココ
Ah,
ア。
yes. Hot cocoa with chocolate. Also, we don't have a faceless protagonist. How nice. That jacket looks bad. And you should feel bad, Octo. Hold on. We shared our food and looked over our observation notes. There were entries showing Venus in full, as well as it waning, with the dates entered. Later, we'd color in today's entry and write down anything else we observed. Today's entry, with Venus in rendezvous with the crescent moon, was a wonderful addition to our observations.
こうやって見るとちっちゃな点なのに望遠鏡だとお月様みたいに見えるんだね。不思議だね。
Stupid kids. Okay, I'll stop. When you take time to observe, you can take notice of the wonders around you. And there are also puzzles to solve. Mercury and Venus wax and wane like the moon. That's because those planets orbit closer to the sun than the Earth does. Changes in the way the sunlight shines on them makes it look like they are waxing and waning. They are also near the sun, rising at dawn and setting at dusk. That's why you can't see these 2 planets in the middle of the night. Even in the deep indigo of the winter sky, even as the deep indigo of the winter sky began to lighten, Venus still shone brilliantly. Talking. That's why it's often called the morning star. Because you smack knights over the head with it. Wrong morning star. It announces the dawn, shining serenely in the morning sky as it does, even without a telescope. It was beautiful. Yet as brilliantly as it shines, when the sun comes up, it would surely fade into the greater light, like all the other stars. Our observation journey is almost done. On other pages, we had sketches of Mars, Jupiter, and its moons, and Saturn's rings. We'd even written all about the other planets, the ones that looked like tiny dots even in this telescope, that were researched in the library.
諸君、1年間の観測ミッションお疲れ様でした。あとはこれをレポートにまとめるだけだね。
Her voice sounds so fucking familiar, but I can't place it! Ah! Hold on. I think I figured out who she reminds me of. I think her voice slightly reminds me of Tsumugi from Sabbath the Witch. mean, she apparently sings the opening for the fan disc for this, for Sky Full of Stars, the Interstellar Focus. Opening called Summer Triangle, apparently. Which, thanks to Shiori Mirai, I know what that's supposed to be. Anyways, hold on. Yeah, she is supposed to voice Manogawa Saya. Wait. Did I just miss it? I just fucking missed it like a massive fucking nonce! Also, by the way, talked about yesterday, reason for no video. I basically binge-watched a bunch of stand-up comedy, and I found a new stand-up comedian I really like, Ricky Garvey. Mainly because Noah's Ark. Also, I really like his kind of joke. Like, he is what some people would refer to as offensive, and I dig that. Anyways, just a little more work and our grand project would be finished. It was a little premature, but a huge feeling of accomplishment grew within me, and soon I felt warm enough to forget the cold. One drop of beer missed. Ew! Ew, no! Ew! CG hand! Could you not, Hikari? Ugh! Hikari suddenly stood up and pointed at the brightening horizon.
この列車は空を行く銀河鉄道天文台。太陽系を征服しても我ら3人の旅はまだまだ終わらない。さあ、銀河の謎を解き明かすべく次なる目的地へ向かおう。
Saya clapped her hands happily. She stared up awestruck at Hikari's face, illuminated in the dim light of dawn. I stared up awestruck at Hikari's face, illuminated in the dim light of dawn, and felt a sense of hope. Right! Ugh, my god. I felt we could go anywhere. We could solve the mysteries of outer space. Felt like we could reach out our hands and catch the stars. Oh, talking. The three of us. As long as Hikari is here. Somebody turn down the smoke. Thanks. This is probably was probably a case of a kanji per square. But by God, it looks so stupid now because, yes! Off! The best letter! I like the music! I'm guessing this is a time skip? Don't start over the music, please. It's about to end, probably. Yep. There it goes. Dawn. Night. Turned off my alarm and lay there for a while. Then I crawled out of my sleeping bag and poked my face out of the tent to have a look around. The sky was shifting from black to blue, deep blue. The stars were almost nowhere to be seen, and dawn was coming soon. Looks like I overslept a bit. The chilled air forced me awake as I boiled water in my portable gas stove. I mixed the water with the dark brown powder in my cup. That's a better jacket! And he's a handsome lad as well! Look at that man! The sky, free of dirt and smog, was clearer at dawn than dusk. As the sun climbed over the horizon and the pure, clear sky, the colors grew in a beautiful graduation. And as always, it was a sight that made my heart feel washed clean. From my seat on the mountain peak, I had that sight all to myself while I drank my instant coffee. I will never stop loving this. I enjoyed the blissful moment as I warmed up my numbed fingertips on the steamed cup. My heart, dried out and twisted from the constant rat race of daily life and studying, felt seeped in warmth and washed clean. The only coffee on the mountain top was instant. Didn't need any richness or deep flavor. The mountain provided that. Incidentally, I called this a mountain peak, but getting here didn't call for anything as grand as mountain climbing. It's the kind of place middle-aged folk in light clothes hike to on a weekend afternoon. You can ride a bike up here. Even so, I was all on my own. I had scenery and cool air all to myself. Just for this moment, I could forget my daily life and all the little irritations of school and enjoy the solitude. It was the greatest, most luxurious moment of bliss. It seems like a bit of a waste to enjoy this all alone. Even though no one was there to hear, the words tumbled out like an apology, and I picked up my smartphone. To then play the glass was like a symbol of daily life and my relationships with the people of this planet. I should share this feeling with someone. The first face that popped into my mind was Takeichi, my best friend, but I shook my head and drove him out of my mind. He's no good. He doesn't have an ounce of sensitivity. This would be wasted on him. It would just encourage his vanity. I tapped my chat app and selected Saya's name. The pre-dawn sky. I sent her a short text along with a picture. Saya, so dedicated and full of sensitivity, would surely understand the depths of my emotion. So delicate, not dedicated. She is not answering. She's probably asleep. My text sat there, displaying the word unread, but that was given. It wasn't even 6 in the morning. She was probably still asleep. And then she suddenly answered, with a picture of the sky as well. Even though I knew why, it bothered me that she didn't answer. I shouldn't have sent the message. I guess I'll go home. Finished off my coffee, and completely cold now, and stood up feeling dejected. If I could have, I would have stayed and prayed to the morning sun, but I had to get to my part-time job. Pulled myself together and started taking down my tent. Or not, huh? Oh, does he work at an inconvenience store? Inconvenience? Yes, the inconvenience store. I mean, what's convenience? What may be a convenience store to the people currently buying? He, as the cashier, certainly probably sees it as an inconvenience store. Oh boy, they're having culture. There's something that the server does every now and again. There's certain people with the culture review role that every now and again just meet in the meeting room and share in culture, by which I mean we just pick a random, either a random sex scene from a visual novel or a random porn game and just complete it 100%. Like, seriously dissecting the story. And yes, the person who raves about this game so much from the server mentioned earlier, he already replied to my screenshot saying, "Oh, that part, Saya best girl." That didn't take too long. Oh well, thank you. Customers always start trickling into Sao Tome's stopping by almost as soon as it opens. Unlike most famous convenience store chains, it had a rural feel to it. Also, it was right in front of the station, so it was actually pretty convenient. Having said that, though, it was a tiny countryside station. Most morning customers were students, adults on the way to work, or old-timers stopping to buy breakfast during their morning walk. Always the same faces. That's our 140 yen in change. Thanks for stopping by. When the customers let up, I had a chance to take a breath. And then... That's a woman! I like how you could clearly hear that this is a woman doing the barking. Like, it's so fucking obvious. I mean, hold on, let me try. Is it better than the woman barking? There we go. I suddenly heard the excited voice of a barking dog coming from outside, though I do believe it could also be an excited woman. Oh, she came. She came! Yeah, that didn't sound like Saya barking. I went out to look and was met with the same old scene. That is, a Shiba standing on its hind legs, wagging its tail and straining its lead to the limit. And in front of him, her brow furrowed in deep consternation, stood a girl in her school uniform. It was an odd scene, but taken as a picture, it was actually quite pleasant. The girl had the kind of beauty you'd usually see in commercials. Her face was perfectly laid out, her figure was slim and elegant, and her hair shone under the morning sun. All of which made her the archetype of the beautiful schoolgirl. Of course, what was most striking about her was something else. It was her eyes. Left eye and right eye were different colors. It was an intense blue, and one was an intense blue, and the other orange, tinged with amber. Those beautiful jewel-like multicolored eyes were now tearing up. Was she scared of dogs? At first glance, it seemed like the girl was crying because it was surprised at Shiba's excitement, but actually it was something else. Or is she allergic? The girl seemed to reach out her hand, then retracted it, but then reached out again. The dog, seeing this, sensed something was about to happen and got more excited, whipping his tail back and forth and barking happily. She couldn't bear it anymore. The girl, with multicolored eyes, reached out to pet the Shiba's head. Stop, Saya! Her hand had stopped just in time. You know how this ends, right? What'll happen if you play with him? It's what you said last time, but you couldn't help it, and who ended up crying then? It was shedding season, and the Shiba's fur was in the middle of regrowing. It was shedding a ton. To clean her fur-covered uniform last time, she'd had to buy a lint roller from us and really work on it. Oh, that was the problem. So she's not allergic. Kotaro the Shiba reached out his nose and carefully sniffed at the girl's outstretched hand. Saya just stared at Kotaro with her teary, jewel-like eyes. Tup, tup, tup. Close to tears, Saya waved regretfully at Kotaro and rushed into the store. The noise when she decided to close her eyes and rush into the store, the noise that was supposed to signify that, it sounded like she fucking hit the dog. It had all the drama of a scene in some old movie where a mother had to give up her own child because the family is too poor. But then... What the... She tripped and did a perfect headfirst slide into the carpet in front of our shop. Ow! Then a shadow appeared over her. Kotaro, having finally succeeded in breaking the clip of his on his leash, leapt into Saya with joyful energy. Hey, Kotaro, cut it out! That's how she lost her innocence. Okay, raise your arms. Kotaro had his way with Saya until I dragged him off with his leash. Thanks to him, I was now cleaning Saya's fur-covered uniform with a lint roller. Leaving it here last time had been the right decision. It was partly your fault, you know, getting him worked up like that. Kotaro was usually really shy and timid, but if someone he liked came along, he'd wag his tail and want to play. Especially when it was Saya, who he'd loved more than his master for ages. Whatever the case, he was a clever, easy-to-train dog who was usually well-behaved. If Saya hadn't done her little "I'm going to pet you, no wait I'm not, okay I will" tease, he never would have gone off like that. Did you skin your knees? She's lucky she didn't get hurt. There's some on your butt too. Okay. She blushed and took the roller, then twisted around to get the fur off her backside. Just then the store manager came out front. Sure thing! My part-time job is only in the morning, from opening up the store until the manager is finished with breakfast. In the back of the store, I took off my apron and changed to my uniform. Saya blushed again and hurried off to get something for lunch. Saying this, she slipped a steamed pork bun into Saya's shopping bag. I don't know why, but I know that expression is meant to be like more of a "I'm sorry," like she feels bad that she got the pork bun for free. But by God, it looks cheeky. Feeling a little jealous, I got something for lunch too, and we left together. Also, oh, this is better. Yes, I still have the fan here from last time. From the stream, I mean. I'm a fucking idiot. And just stop buying that stick. It's too tempting to just grab it and hit something with it. Oh, this feels good. Oh. Anyways, alright then, see you later! Nah! Nah! We could fly there. Nah! That was one of the bits that happened in like that Noah's Ark video skit from Ricky Garvey that I mentioned. At least that's how I think his name is said. I don't know. Anyways, actually I could check instead of being a big doo-doo head. Big idiot doo-doo head. They're still playing a porn. They're playing a different porn game in here now. Anyways, yeah, it was a Ricky Garvey. RICKY GERVAIS. Spiders are always fucking ready. There's also a link to like the full version of the Domestic Girlfriend opening, which is fucking amazing. Anyways,
はい、あきとくん。
Maybe let's score. She handed me half of the pork bun she'd just gotten. She even gave me the bigger half. Saya, you're way too nice. I didn't know her name was Kake. Weird. Stopping by's pork buns are a little different from other places. They're handmade by the manager's husband and packed with a delicious filling. They're also huge. They're even bigger than other chains' pork buns. Wait, they're pork buns. That other chains' pork buns. Like, they're even bigger, makes it sound like it's like not normal pork buns. Like, what you're saying is like, ah yes, these pork buns. They're bigger than normal. But the even makes it sound like the other chains' pork buns are already bigger than normal pork buns. Bai buns are kind of famous around here.
素敵な空の写真のお礼。また山に登ってたんだね。
Munching on the steamed pork bun, I took out my phone. What do you know? Saya had answered. Knowing that improved my mood, so I closed my eyes and slowly started talking. Mountain is so nice. You feel the wonder of nature with your whole body, and it makes you feel so small. Behind my eyelids, the deep solemnity of the morning's view returned to life. And in the middle of that view, drinking a single cup of instant coffee was the ultimate luxury. I tried to tell her, but Sai's reaction was so strange, so filled with self-satisfaction, that I figured I should hurry up and read her reply.
綺麗だね。朝から素敵な写真ありがとう。昨日お母さんがおでん作ったの。また後で持ってくね。
Oh, that's a cute bun bun. For real?
アキトくんの分持って多めに作ってくれたよ。
Free food! Thanks, Saya! Saya's family is Odin. The grandeur of nature around the mountain peak with coffee was no rival for this luxury. It really was something to look forward to. When she saw the bus coming, Saya rushed to finish off her pork bun. Hot. You better slow down, you'll burn yourself. I think it's too late.
じゃあまたね、アキトくん。
Yeah, later!
コタちゃん、バイバイ。
She got on the bus and said hi to the other students from her school and waved to me from the window. One of her friends, seeing this, leered and poked her in the sides, and she blushed and shook her head quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and guess. Is he your boyfriend? Something like that. She probably got upset because they mistook me for her boyfriend again. Again? So like they keep telling her no, but every time they're again, is that your boyfriend? So when the fuck is he finally gonna be your boyfriend? Jesus Christ, hurry the fuck up. We all know you like the bastard. Get your ass into gear. No matter how often it happened, she always overreacted like it was the first time. That's Saya Amanogawa in a nutshell. When the bus was out of sight, I unlocked my bike. Guess I'd better go too. Good morning!
ほら、空にお前なんだそのでかいカバン。学校指定のはどうした？
His name is Akito Sorami. I was sort of camping in the mountains. I greeted my teacher and headed through the school gates. I parked my bike and went towards the building, but I didn't head for my homeroom. Building 2, where the culture club rooms are located, was deserted as it was still pretty early. I walked down the quiet hall and stopped in front of a certain door. Astronomy Club! That's what was written on the sign of the door. Took a key out of my pocket and opened the astronomy clubroom door. Figured I could sleep through the first period. Feeling tired, I dropped the bag that was weighing down my shoulder and looked at the clock. I had 10 minutes until homeroom. I'd planned on mixing in with the sports teams to get in on their post-morning training shower, but that wasn't time, as I just washed my face and brushed my teeth and head to class. I grabbed the towel and toothbrush from my desk and headed out of the room. A totally normal morning. The beginning of another day, nothing special about it. I didn't think much about it, but figured this was likely how all my days would be. But on that day after school, something would happen that would bring a little variety to my life. It would change my life forever, you know, that kind of stuff. The fuck? The fuck was that? This must be the place. The Private Institute, Mako Academy. It's an escalator school going from kindergarten all the way to college, located near the sea of the sprawling city of Hoshinonaka. Just by looking at it, you could tell it was a school for kids of well-to-do families. Watching the kids go home, you got the feeling that they were somewhat more refined, and while they lived in the same city as us, they were really in a different world. I gathered my resolve and went against the flow of students going home, entering the school building. Inside, the building seemed even more otherworldly than the exterior did. What is this place? Is this actually a school? I was in an airy corridor, lined by glass walls. It felt like I was lost in some palace in a faraway land. Even under normal circumstances, visiting another school was nerve-wracking, but this feeling of strangeness was something else. Of course, all the students I passed stared intently. I went down the hall, trying hard to avoid any eye contact. I guess this is it. I stopped in front of the door and looked at the sign marking my destination. Astronomy Club. It was written right there in front of me. Gulping nervously, I knocked on the door. Excuse me? To my surprise, the door revealed only darkness. No one's here. Jesus Christ! At least that's what I thought, until a tiny light popped into life in the middle of the room. It sure didn't look tiny when it fucking flared in my face! Flashbang through the door! What? A girl's face appeared in faint light, and I nearly let out an involuntary yelp. The light flickering red like a candle. In the light flickering red like a candle, a young woman reached out for one of the cards laid out on the table. They looked like tarot cards. I can't fucking deal with tarot cards since yesterday. Like the situation that stressed me so much that yesterday wasn't a video. It didn't involve tarot cards, as in I had to help deal with a situation, but the person actively having pulled me in to help didn't listen to me, but instead decided to listen to fucking tarot cards. So yeah, that's why I was called at like 2 in the morning. She took down the cards and spoke. The card and spoke. It was as if she was reading the future, like some kind of fortune teller. I answered, yeah, I was told to come here at this time. Couldn't tell if she'd heard me or not, but the beautiful yet creepy girl put the card back on the table, and then let out a little laugh. Yeah, and you're fucking weird! Yes, I am. Wait, hold on. What's Maya?
野蛮なオリオンに追い立てられ星となった美しくも気高いプレアディス七姉妹の長女マイヤ。あなたの学校星の第一に冠された特別な名よ。
Huh. I thought it was a rather vague answer. I wanted to go home! What was with that totally creepy girl? Why was the room so dark? Wasn't the astronomy club room? Why Why was she doing tarot or whatever? And who is Maya anyways?
驚くのも無理はないわね。でもね、空見くん。星の運行を正しく見通すことができれば、この程度のことを言い当てるのは造作もないのよ。
Looking at these buildings from the outside, I thought people here existed in another world. But now, I felt 1,000 times more out of place. I just stood there, not knowing how I should respond. Eventually, it was beautiful, but totally creepy. Broke the silence.
このままでは、我々は滅びる。
Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you, lady?
滅びの運命に抗うために、長き眠りから目覚めなさい。七姉妹の長女マイヤ。
Can you calm the fuck down? Why exactly wasn't standard response at a time like that? It's not really something they teach you in school. I trust my instincts and answered, Oh man, I think I left my stove on! That could cause a fire. I'll be back later!
待って誰か吉岡はい会長
Oh, Scott here replied way more politely than I would. Like, I would just look at her like, is that something wrong with you, lady? Just before I could leave, the door behind me slammed shut, closing me in. Darkness grew deeper than before, and sweat started to run down my forehead. Suddenly felt like I was about to become part of some ridiculous crime scheme. And I had really been looking forward to going home and having Saya Zoden to enjoy that flavorful, tender stewed radish. That fish cake so juicy and soft. And though they may call me a heretic, inescapably captivating cabbage roll.
怯えることはないわ、空見くん。我々はあなたとお話がしたいだけで。
I have the kind of training necessary to stay calm in a situation like this!
ですから会長、少々思考を凝らしすぎだと。でも演出は重要だわ。我々の真意を伝えるためにも。
It only help fucking confuse everybody! Please! Stop the crazy talk! My god! Could you at least open the curtains? If not, I'm going home. Even if I have to force my way out.
吉岡はい、ただいま。
Ah, Jesus. That's better. I don't know why, but I felt the random weird urge to punch the fan. Anyways, with the heavy curtains open, the windows loud, soft sunlight to fill the room. What had up to now been a creepy chamber was now revealed to be a standard astronomy club room. It was a perfectly normal room all along.
普通会長、お気を確かに。
What is even happening? This was turning into a chore. But at the same time, when she was stumbling around in shock like that, it oddly made her more beautiful. So, you are...
明光学院天文部前部長、
織姫。
白鳥織姫よ。はじめまして、空見くん。
What's the other one called again? Orihime and the other one, Reasons for Tanabata. I forgot. Hold on. This annoys me now. Hikoboshi! That was the one. I'm a fucking idiot. Anyways.
会長の補佐兼現部長を務めさせていただいております。吉岡です。
I'd heard about these two from our president, or rather our former president. Orihime was a third year and Honoka was a first year, like me. As a third year, Orihime would normally have been retired from club life, but maybe at a school like Meiko, third years are less worried about tests. It's nice to meet you both. I'm Akito Sorami. I'm a first year in the astronomy club at Hoshino Daiichi.
どうぞ、おかけください。
Thanks. When I sat down, they brought me an elegantly decorated cup of tea and a wild strawberry tart.
先ほどは失礼したわね。 あなたを歓迎したい一心だったのよ。ごめんなさい。
I didn't really think that was the proper way to meet someone for the first time myself. If I had been Saya, I'd be crying. Anyway, what did you want to talk about? I felt like she had something about it. Said something about it, but it had been so wrapped up in fancy language I hadn't gotten it.
要件はすでにお聞きになっていると思うのだけれど。
Fuck no. No, not really. The look of shock covered Orihime's face. Our president didn't tell me anything at all. The only reason I came was because the president had asked me. It's complicated, but by president I actually mean former president, since in the third year he had to retire from the astronomy club last summer. Since I was the only member of our astronomy club, I also became the president, despite being a first year. But as there weren't any other members, there wasn't anyone to call me Mr. President. And although I should have been aware of my own position, I'd always called the former president, and for me, he was still the president. It was a little complicated. The president told me, I want you to go and hear what Orihime at Meiko Academy has to say, but nothing else other than that. Honoka was whispering into Orihime's ear.
会長が驚かせたいとおっしゃるので、なるべく何も話さないようにとお伝えしました。それでよく足を運んでくださったわね。
The two of them stared at me curiously. What was that look for? Those two were the weird ones. I was just here out of respect for my president.
あなた、むつら星の会をご存知かしら？
The Six Stars Club, no, really. Not really, no. I'd never heard of it. It kind of sounded like the name of a kid's play group.
同じ志を抱きし仲間たちの集い。正確には、
Whoops.
現星の中市、旧星の市および天の中市の近隣6校からなる天文部の集まりです。
Oh, it kept going. An association from Six Stars.
30年の伝統を誇り、数々の実績を上げてきましたが、6年前に方向性の不一致から解散しました。
Sounds like the way most rock bands break up. But anyway, I had no idea there had ever been such a group.
むつら星とはスバルの別名。自分たちを冬空に美しく輝く6つの連星になぞらえて、むつら星の会と名付けたのよ。
What a romantic story! Okay, so, what about this group?
蘇らせたいの。私たちの手で。
Huh.
ここで最初の言葉につながります。
Honoka came up close to me. If we continue on this path, we are doomed. You must awaken from your ageless slumber, Maya, eldest of the seven sisters, to deny our fate. I think that was what she had said to me, but I still didn't get it.
空見くん、星野第一の天文部員は現在何名かしら？
It's just me. Orihime had a smug look on her
聖
face.
戦女子2名、天の中1名、天の中西4名、諸見沢工業3名、そして我が名工学院は私を除いて3名。
Clubs are starving for members
さ
everywhere.
すがマイヤの空見焼きと察しがいいわ。
Okay, so what's all this Maya stuff already? Hold on, let me try that again. Okay, so what's with this Maya stuff already?
むつら星の全盛期、各校の部員数は平均10名前後。最も活動が盛んだった天の中西は最高部員数36名。それが今やどの学校も廃部寸前の窮状で、来年にはさらなる部員数減少も予想されます。
When I heard Honoka's words, Orihime sighed and looked miserable.
まるで人の営みが生み出した街の明かりが夜空の星を一つまた一つとかき消してしまうように。早急に対処する必要があるわ。星の中から天文の灯火を。
Wait, this is still her line.
星の中から天文の灯火を消さないためにも、かつての黄金時代を取り戻す必要があるの。それが
Rebuild the Six Stars Clubs. Orihime nodded her head with a very serious look on her face. It wasn't unusual for astronomy clubs from different schools to work together and have observation meetups. Oh hey, I'm not done with the first bottle of beer yet it's already been an hour. Huh. Would you look at that? It's like when sports clubs have scrimmages with teams from other schools. The Six Stars Club started out as just an observation meetup. Also, something I realized recently because I'm basically rewatching Hello Goodbye. Kaito's dad is also voiced by Kiryu's voice actor. So, the roles Kiryu's voice actor take on, for me, are officially just badass old men. Because let's be honest, at this point with Yakuza 6, Kiryu is an old man. Like, he is Daddy Kiryu for a reason. Anyways, the Six Stars Club started out as just an observation meetup. It later morphed into a more permanent arrangement, with activities outside of their respective schools. After the fall of the Six Stars Club, each school club lost a lot of members. So in order to revive the Six Stars Club as a whole, each individual club would need to be revitalized as well. Okay, titties, we get it. But the Six Stars Club was shut down by alumni, wasn't it? What exactly happened in that disagreement over its direction, I wondered. If we just go out and try to rebuild it, won't they get mad? Some schools, former members of the sports club's sections held a lot of clout over them, although astronomy fell under culture club rules. Whether they allowed it or not, if we tried to revive the Six Stars Club, they wouldn't hesitate to butt in. With a supremely confident smile, Orihime walked to the middle of the room and stood in front of the spherical astrolabe set conspicuously on the table. It was quite old looking, judging from the centered placement of the Earth and the surrounding celestial bodies. It appeared to be a decoration modeled on something from the Ptolemaic era. Orihime placed her hand on it. That sounds vaguely threatening. Saying this, she slowly spun the astrolabe. The planets orbit around me, is what she seemed to be saying. With these hands, I can alter the course of the planets themselves. Though I have to admit, I wasn't exactly sure what she was going for.
Kaicho, Surami-kun ga hiitemasu. 嘘 練習通りバッチリ決めたはずなのに
They actually practiced for this? For the time being, I pretended not to notice Orihime's dedication to the performance and said, I see what you're saying, and I understand your motivation.
じゃあ
But I don't think I can help you. I don't even do stargazing anymore.
どういうことですの
I'm still a member of the astronomy club, but it just sort of worked out that way. I've already decided not to look at the sky anymore. I tried to sound apologetic, but Orihime just stared at me with a confused look on her face. Which was expected. Someone in the astronomy club told me they didn't look at stars. I'd do the same!
星を見ない天文部員でしたか何ですのそれ彼は学校でそう呼ばれているそうです
Well, if you already know, then there's no need to explain it again. So I guess if that's all, I'd better get going. And with that, I stood up and started to leave.
待って
Okay, let's turn that back on. It immediately got fucking warm again. Let me turn this up again. Up a bit. This time I'm talking about angle, not intensity. There we go. Maybe not put it on like an angled fucking pillow. Fuck did I put this? Anyways, now it's a bit too high. Fuck. Let's try this again. Take it back now, y'all. Turn it up. And it's not being picked up. Nice. Rima suddenly grabbed my hand. It was softer than I could have imagined, and I froze in place.
どのような経緯であなたがそんな呪わしい名を持つに至ったか。けど、
Whoops, fuck. Rima stared into my
かつて
eyes.
星を見ていたのなら覚えているはずよ。冴え渡る夜空に星を追う楽しさを、空の断りを一つ一つ解き明かしていく喜びを。
She stared unmoving into my eyes, as if she was reaching into my deepest memories. I'm sorry, really, but I can't. Rima wilted, her disappointment visible. It was like seeing Kotaro get sad when Saya wouldn't play with him, and I couldn't help but feel guilty. Well, I have to get to work. Unable to bear it any longer, I stood to go, but this time it was Honoka who stopped
も
me.
しよかったら今度の会合に来ていただけませんか。それまでお返事は保留ということにしていただいて。
Fine. And I said that Urihime seemed to cheer up a bit. She even smiled a little.
絶対にいらしてね。約束よ。
That smile was more persuasive than any ridiculous argument, and I found myself nodding subconsciously.
あ、かよいずまちゃんまた来てる。バイバイ。
The commuter wife? What?
さようなら。
A girl on her way home from the Hoshino Daiichi waved, so I gave a little wave back.
誰だろう。
I had no idea. Oh, we're currently Saya for some
誰
reason.
あの子。めっちゃ可愛くない？目の色きれい。お人形さんみたいじゃん。あれ、聖戦女子の制服だよね。彼氏に会いに来てるみたいよ。うちの天文部にいるんだって。へえ、それで通い妻ちゃんか。でもさ、うち天文部なんかあったか。
Whoops. I had to come by so many times that I guess they remembered me now.
通い妻ちゃん。
That's what they seemed to be calling me. My face felt hot. They were saying something about a boyfriend, too.
特に迷惑かかってないかな。
So I do believe I already like her. I can see why Soul likes her. Hold on. There we go. I did worry a little. Just like the ones before, all students on their way home looked my way. Guess it was only natural, since it was so rare for a girl wearing another school's uniform to be there. But I got so embarrassed that I couldn't stand it anymore.
一度帰ろうかな。
Feeling helpless, I looked down at the package in my hands.
楽しみにしてたし。
天の川さん。
She'd been smiling like that from the start. I never could have refused. Muttered, thinking back on Orihime's grinning face. That first impression was so creepy, but I guess I was lucky. I couldn't really pay attention to the rest of her. She's a little older, so she's got a different kind of beauty compared to Saya. Her boobs are bigger too. Saya would be very happy if she knew I was using her as the basis of comparison. I thought to myself as I pedaled my bike through the school gate. Whenever I thought of Saya, I thought of Odin. Oh, Saya's Odin. I sighed like a lovesick child. It was just about time for work. My trip to Meiko Academy took longer than planned, so I didn't have time to go by Saya's house to pick up my Odin. And I had really been looking forward to the night's banquet. Just thinking about that Odin sure is making me hungry. Maybe I should have had a snack before I headed out.
おかえり、ハキトくん。
Saya? What are you doing here? I mean, hi.
校門のところで待ってたんだけど、部長さんが来て中に入れてくれたの。
You must have met the former president. Saya had met him before. You came and waited just for me? I told her beforehand that I had a sudden errand to run.
ハキトくん、楽しみにしてたみたいだったから、
Oh, you don't mean... With a little angelic smile, Saya picked up a package from a desk.
あってー
Oh, that was adorable. Ta-da! You brought it in a pot!
これで温めた方が美味しいと思って。
You really are something. Must have been so heavy. You stood waiting in front of the school carrying this? You rode the bus with this on your lap?
そうだよ。
In my mind's eye, it was such a surreal sight. It seemed more like she'd lost a dare or something. Thank you so much, Saya! The impulse to hug her in gratitude was so strong I had to struggle to keep it under control. After all that work, it would have been a tragedy to spill the Odin. Speaking of, what the heck are you doing here?
よ、おかえり。
Don't what's up me, you moron! What are you doing slipping in here to eat your noodles?
やっぱカレーだよな。お前わかってるよ。
The food snatching bandit just stood there, poking at his phone and slipping up his ill-gotten curry noodles. I've been trying my best to ignore him, but the spicy aroma of those noodles ignited my appetite.
私がアットくん待ってたらお腹すいたって。
Is the Odin okay? I was actually fearful as I said that.
任せて。死守したよ。
Saya gave me a thumbs up. We nodded to each other like war buddies who had survived hell together. Seeing that, Takeichi has slurped his curry noodles in protest. The synergy of sound and smell triggered my stomach like Pavlov's bell. And by the way, those purloined noodles had been my emergency rations. Also, that jerk wasn't even in the astronomy club. He was just a mere basketball club
ど
member.
こ行ってたんだ？
Oh, nowhere special. I rushed him off and started to change out of my uniform to get ready for work. So I turned her back while I changed.
名工学院に行ってたの？
Saya said, still looking the other way. How did you know
部
that?
長さんがね、教えてくれたの。部長さんのお使いで名工の天文部の人に会いに行ってるって。
I believe I've met some kind of asylum patient. What? I mean, she sure seemed insane. Yeah, pretty much. I made some vague agreement, trying to misdirect. I didn't want to get into it.
名工の天文部なんぞに一体何の用事だよ。
And this concerns you how?
だな。でも天の川が聞きたそうな顔してっからさ。
Saya's ears turned beet red and she shook her head back and forth. Couldn't see her face, but it was pretty clear she wanted to know who I'd met. It was no big deal. Have you ever heard of the Six Stars Club?
むつら星。
Saying it over and over, Saya turned around with a thoughtful look on her face, just as I was taking off my pants. She turned bright red again and whipped back around.
知らない。
I finished changing my pants and hung up my uniform. It was a gathering of all the astronomy clubs in the city, apparently. They asked me to join in. I gave Saya a rundown of what Orihime and Honoka told me. It really wasn't something I wanted to talk about, but with that pot full of Odin right in front of me, I couldn't refuse Saya anything.
そんな集まりがあるんだね。知らなかったよ。
Me neither. I let Dip break up 6 years ago. After she heard my story, Saya opened her blue and orange eyes wide and stared at me.
また星を見るんだ。
No way, I'm never looking up again.
でも
I put my answer on hold, but at the next meeting I plan to refuse outright.
そうなんだ。
The topic ended on an unpleasant note. Saya's shoulders slumped a little in disappointment. That's why I didn't want to talk about it, I thought to myself. Slipping from Takeichi's noodles echoes in the silence. I suddenly reached out to take the cup from Takeichi's hand. He wouldn't let go, though. Just give me a
食
little.
わしてやるから口開けろ。
Gross.
ほら、食いたいんだろ？あーんしろよ。
Takeichi picked up some noodles with chopsticks and reached towards me. You.
我慢すんなよ。欲しいんだろ？
The delectable, spicy scent wafted towards my nose. Ah! As if! I ripped the cup and chopsticks from Takeichi's hand. Slurp! Slurp! Slurp!
あ、お前食いすぎだろ。おいやめろ。一口でどんだけ空気だ。
I scarfed down nearly all the noodles before Takeichi could snatch them back.
もうほとんど残ってね。
I smiled, feeling victorious while chomping my mouthful of noodles. That's what you get for being creepy.
冗談じゃねえか。
Takeichi picked up the leftover noodles and bits of chopped meat stuck to the cup. He actually looked kind of sad.
ごっそさん。
Takeichi drank the last of the sauce and smacked his lips. He threw the cup and chopsticks away.
食った食った。んな顔すんなよ。明日新しいの買ってくっから。
Takeichi stood up and stretched. Just when I thought he was leaving, he stopped. Huh?
お前さ、光のことをそろそろ吹っ切れよ。
What? What's she got to do with anything? Why'd you go and bring her up now?
あるのは三日月村出身なら誰でも知ってる。
Her
お前がいなくなった
disappearance?
のあいつがいなくなってからじゃねえか。
She straight up vanished? What? Like I thought I thought it's gonna be something like Mao. I thought you just rejected him under the night sky or something like that. Like they were just nice sitting together looking up at the sky. He says he loves her. She's just fuck you. And that's why I'm not looking up. Like she straight up fucking disappeared? What?
もう4年も前だぞ。どっか行っちまったやつのことより、今の自分とか、身近にいる誰かのこと、考えてやってもいいんじゃねえか。
Give me a
ど
minute.
こ行くんだよ。
Just a small bathroom break. I'm going to beat the shit out of you. I pulled him out to the hallway, then let go of his arm. What's the matter with you bringing up that crap like that out of nowhere?
いきなりでもないだろう。天文部の話題の続きじゃねえか。
We're going to have a falling out at this
お
rate.
かしいだろう。星を見ない天文部員なんて。
Just forget it, it's my problem. It's not like he wasn't the one they were talking about. And he saw how upset I was, he gave a little
お前
sigh.
見てると、時々もどかしくなるんだよ。余計なこと言って悪かった。
Honest God, that's the sign of a good friend. Like, okay, I want to respect your decision, but by God, your decision right now is fucking stupid. It's not good for you. It's not good for your friend. It's not good for the entirety of the club. Just snap out of it. I'm thinking of your best interests here. Like, that's a good friend. Like, this man's like the appearance immediately and what Octo said earlier made him sound like an asshole. No, this man's is a good friend. It's fine. I could see why it bothered him. And I knew he was just trying to help. A lot of friends who try to help me. I should be grateful.
昔の借りもいろいろあるし、何か力になれたらって思ったんだ。すまん。
Said it's fine, and I don't remember you owing me anything. As far as I'm concerned, it's the other way around. The only reason I'm able to do anything is you. If we continue counting up who owes who, it'd surely come up even. We grinned at each other and bumped fists. If anyone had seen that, we'd have died from embarrassment. I'm going to hit the toilet, Sar's probably getting worried, so could you go back for a minute? Probably thought we were beating each other silly or something. She was such a warrior word.
Oh.
Left Takeichi behind and headed for the toilet. When I got back, Takeichi was nowhere to be seen. Where's Take? Where's Take?
居残り練習あるからって。
So that's why I wanted to fill up. Not to mention... Fuck. Not to mention, it looked like he was up to become a starter next year. Hope our basketball club will be alright.
仲良しだよね。アキトくんとタケくんって。ちょっと。
Whoops.
はあ。私も男の子に生まれたかったな。
Let's try that again.
仲良しだよね。 アキトくんとタケくんって。ちょっと羨ましい。
Thing I recently found out actually, this kind of beer, like this isn't the one I usually have, but they didn't have my usual brand that my usual brand type that I can't get that I buy. But this one apparently has more alcohol. Oh, anyways. So now I'm really weirded out by the fact that in that one video recently, only one beer managed to make me drunk. What part was it again? I don't fucking know. I say drunk, but it was more like lightheaded, I guess. What are you talking about? What's so appealing about that? No way, if you were born, that would be a great loss to humanity. And anyway, knowing you, even if you'd been born a boy, you'd just share everything anyway and never fight over it. I'm actually kind of surprised. The pictures I saw and like how people talked about her, I always thought she was just gonna be straight flat. No, she actually has quite some size to her. Like, sure, a bit of it is probably like the relatively thick-looking jacket, but still, that's still pretty okay. Also, the culture stopped. Sai nodded seriously with a I hadn't thought of that look on her face. It was kind of funny. While she waited for me, Sai had been in the dark looking at the telescope he had set up in the room. I set it up every day to make sure it stayed in good shape. It was a refracting telescope with an 8-centimeter aperture. After the president retired, it hadn't been used once though. By now, it was already getting dark outside the window. You know, it should be visible soon. I'll be there, that is. When I said this, Sai turned to me with a surprised look. For some reason, I suddenly got embarrassed and couldn't look at her. Maybe you should stop calling me that. Isn't it embarrassing? The teasing tone in Sai's voice made me feel even more embarrassed. Well, I'd better get to work. I'll take you back. Like, this makes it seem like the commuter wife, some kind of like good luck. Like gives just seeing her gives you good luck. Like I can just imagine like, wow, man, seeing the commuter at this time of life, it's my lucky day. Confusion. I got my bike and came to the gate. I found Saya already there, surrounded by older students going home after practice, all pretending to pray to her. Oh, okay. Oh, that's actually what's happening! But instead of one person off in the distance, it's like people surrounding her! Like she's some kind of graven idol.
Bye bye, Kayoizuma-chan. Sayonara. Yatta!
Eating forward makes my back cold. Probably that. You know her? Yes, I had replied so sincerely. She was too funny and too cute. I got on my back and Sai climbed onto the cargo rack, sitting in the side saddle. Sai sat and peeked at my face to see how I reacted. Yeah, seems that way. She had visited our school so many times that the nickname had become permanent. It was only natural that someone in another school uniform would stand out, and with the way Saya looked, it was inevitable. And since she usually showed up with food, the unfortunate name, commuter wife, just stuck. I'd stay quiet about it because I thought she didn't like it, but looking at her now, I wasn't so sure. Hold on tight, don't let go. I could never ask Sai to be too careful, since she had the coordination of a drunk ox. Saya wrapped her arms around my waist, and I slowly began to pedal. I quickly passed the other students walking home after their clubs. Saya was light. I barely noticed her sitting right behind me. Right behind me? Sitting right behind me. We picked up speed. The wind. As we picked up speed, the wind, cooling down at some sunset, started to hit us. Maybe without thinking, Saya pressed her body up against my back, warmed me up.
もうすぐ冬だね。
Yep, autumn season.
美味しいよ。味がとしますすめはね。
Whoops.
じゃがいもとこんにゃくと、あとタコの味がね。
Saya counted out the ingredients on her fingers. Oh man, no more. Just listening to you is making me more hungry.
そっか。じゃあ食べてのお楽しみだね。
This is some weird ASMR crap right now. Definitely. Stars began to twinkle in the night sky. Winter was right upon us. I don't get like that symbol down here. I approached the aging streetlights, their feeble light nearly drowned by the overwhelming darkness. That dark country night, only one single building still held back the dark with dazzling light. Stop by, also known as Mikazuki's castle that never sleeps. I don't know why I like emphasized it like that. Or at least when this place was still on the southeastern border of the Mikazuki village. Someone once called it that. The Saotome stopped by stayed open until 10 p.m. Back then, the village shops usually closed at 6, at least very late, or at very latest 8 at night. It was dark at night, so when the villagers first gazed upon that "Stop By" sign glowing in defiance of the laws of nature, how they must have shuddered. They said it heralded the coming of civilization to a tiny Mikazuki village. People will believe what they will. Since then, Mikazuki village had been submerged into the new reservoir. The rest of the village had become part of Hoshinoka City. Even still, people remembered the old name. That was probably because of the Mikazuki villagers' pride in their symbol of civilization. Of course, the convenience stores along the coastal highway are all open 24 hours. I was alone in shop, sitting on the stool behind the register, poking at my phone. For hard-working students, our late hours could be a real blessing, but for me, it was terribly boring. And the evening, customers only came in sporadically after trains arrived at the station.
学校を超えた天文部の集まりか。何それ、面白そうじゃない。
Miss Komako. Who the fuck is Miss Komako? It went on for over 30 years, apparently.
いいじゃん。やりなよ、やりなよ。
I'm not, for
どう
reasons.
して
I decided I'm not gonna look at stars anymore.
どうしてなんでだって、アキトくんも天文部なんでしょ
I like how they're writing out Octo. Whoops. It's just that some stuff happened way back.
お来たね。若者の悩み。
Angst!
いいよ。お姉さんに何でも話してみなさい。
Why do I already feel like I'm going to love this Komako character?
さあ。
Spit! Please ignore that noise that came out of my gut. That guttural scream. Unsure of how I should answer, I looked up from my phone. I guess Miss Komako wasn't even her real name. She was an office worker living in some big city somewhere. We met a while back online. Oh boy, I'm liking the way this is going. Sometimes, when you get tired of adulting, we kill time together like this. I turned my eyes to the single customer in the shop. Old Man Champ. He still hasn't moved. Old Man Champ has been standing in front of the magazine rack since before I looked down at my phone, and he apparently hadn't moved a muscle. He was still as a hunting crane. Oh, Old Man Champ moved! Looks like he decided on the evening's entertainment. Old Man Champ reached out and took a magazine from the rack and turned towards the register. And then...
ほら、仕事中に携帯いじってんじゃないの。
Who is this Miharu? And why do I like her? A youngish woman came out from the back of the shop. Hey, Miss
あ
Miharu!
ったら、こんばんはでしょうが。学校で習わなかった。てか、教えなかった？これだから、最近の若いもんは。
Planning under her breath, Miss Miharu took a pork bun from the warming box by the register. That'll be 180 yen. She slowly puts it back again. My old teacher stared at my outstretched hand like she had something to say to it. Your old teacher? That's your teacher?
ここ、
Oh,
私
not.
んちなんだけど。
Yes, but my manager told me that under no circumstances was I to feed their, and I quote, deadbeat daughter for free. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay. Miss Miharu reached into her pocket and took out some coins.
働いてるやつがそんなに偉いのか。
With an expression of heart-wrenching grief, she placed 180 yen on the counter. It included 2 5-yen coins. Would you like your receipt?
そんなの、トイレットペーパーの代わりにもならしないよ。
She sulkily walked over to the shop's seating area and reading a newspaper someone had left, began eating her bought and paid for pork bun. When Miss Miharu had gone, Old Man Champ snuck out of his hiding place behind the magazine rack and fearfully made his way to the register. What can I do for you? Which weird sick porn did you choose today? The old man blushed faintly as he laid down 2 magazines. The first was a popular young men's comic magazine, Champ Comics. Second was carefully hidden underneath. His evening entertainment turned out to be huge-breasted housewives, apparently. That'll be 1,040 yen out of 1,100. Using my months of register skill, I quickly scanned the magazines and slipped them smoothly into a paper bag in one motion. That's 60 yen and change. Thanks for stopping by. That's a bit long. Old Man Champ, apparently relieved by my skilled service, left the shop with an air of satisfaction. Sorry, Old Man Champ came by.
何それ。
He's this old guy who always comes in and buys a nudie mag whenever I'm working. He hides it under Champ Comics each time, so I call him Old Man Champ.
何それ。ウケる。
Why can I just imagine her, like, sitting at home, alone, probably only wearing her underwear and a shirt, and just drinking beer? Why is that something I can currently imagine? It's possibly because of the teacher from Sabbath of the Witch. What was her name again? Hold on. Like I'm annoyed that I can't remember her name right now. There we go. Hisashima. Because Hisashima talked like that occasionally. And Isashima just had that kind of air, since you did kind of explain that. Old Man Champ chose his raunchy books with all the intensity of a pubescent teenager who just discovered them. But I didn't mean to make fun of him, not at all. His pension allowed him just 1 magazine. That'd make anyone choose carefully, indeed. Oh hey, Miss Miharu, what happened with that room we talked about?
平田さんとこ？やっぱダメだって。あんたの年で一人暮らしって言ってもね。 なんかあっても責任取れないし。
Why does he want to move out? She kept reading the paper as she spoke. I see, thank you for checking. Did he camp in the mountain for a reason? That's not good. I gave up acting like I had known before I asked. Guess I'll try somewhere
こ
else.
んな田舎に一人暮らし向きの物件なんてそうないでしょ。
Whoops. There are places over by the coast.
家賃高くて無理っつってたのあんたでしょ。いい加減諦めてさ、家買いなさいよ。家はいいよ。ご飯作ってくれるし、洗濯やってくれるし。これで小言がなきゃ天国だよね。
You know, if the manager heard you say that, she'd throw you out for good. When I said this, she put down the newspaper and turned my way. She looked at me with an odd expression on her face.
私はね、あんたのことを心配して言ってるんだよ。
Her tone of voice did sound like she really was worried about me, and I started to regret my teasing. But really, you don't need
あ
to.
んた、このままだと私と結婚させられちゃうわよ。
Huh? Huh? What? Was that what we were talking about?
母さん、あんたのことを自分の子供か孫みたいに気に入っちゃってるからさ。よく働くし、気が利くし、あんたになら将来この店任せてもいいって。
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. The marrying bit. I mean, I
それにさ、あんたの初恋の人って私らしいじゃない？
what?
どっかでそれ聞いてきたらしくてさ、下宿探しの件もあるし、いっそうちの婿養子にどうかって。
Wait,
私はもうそれでもいいんだけど、若くて息のいい旦那が手に入って。
Okay, suddenly I'm very much not down for the whole marrying thing. Wait!
ねえ、子供は何人欲しい？サッカーチーム作る？
I suddenly think it's a very good idea again. Just stop right there! Now, where to begin with all this? Was that about my first love? Who told you that?
そう動揺しなさんな。よくあることじゃないの。
It's a mistake! He kinda just said that for fun! Miss Hikaru just sat there with a smug look on her face. But anyway, if you really thought you were my first love, why did you work so hard every day to ruin that?
恋が芽生えた頃の私ってどんなだった？どういうところを好きになっちゃったの？
Nothing! That's what I'm saying! I don't want to ruin the shop, and especially don't want to get married. I just want to find a place to live. I don't want to run this shop, not ruin, I mean.
あらそう。残念だわ。永久就職先が見つかったと思ったのに。
It was like the one tiny bit of hope I had in my life. Disappeared in an instant. In its place, I felt a heavy weight fall on my shoulders. As I was breaking out in a cold sweat, I heard Kotaro's voice from outside. Through the glass, he looked at me with pleading eyes. It's a little early, but I guess I'd better take him for his walk. Miss Miyaru, can you watch the shop?
はいよ。
She answered without enthusiasm and didn't even look up from the paper, but since she did answer, I figured it was okay. Took off my apron and put on my jacket. See you in a bit.
何この新聞？先月のじゃん。
Took you a while. Watching her from the corner of my eyes as she shook, as the shock of this realization destroyed her concentration and made her throw the paper in anger, I hurried out. I feel like I fucked up reading that line. Hello. Don't get too worked up, okay? You'll wake the neighborhood. Taking Kotaro for his evening walk was also part of my job. Usually did it after closing, but sometimes I'd go earlier if Miss Miyaru was there to take over. Thanks, buddy, you saved me back there. He'd gotten me out of a conversation I did not want to get any deeper into. It seemed like there was a conspiracy brewing against me while I wasn't looking. Cold sweat rolled down my back. It honestly made me happy that the manager liked me that much, and I was grateful. But jumping all the way to son-in-law was a bit much. I guess I only had my rather fuzzy situation to blame. What should I do? And that was all. Then there was the 6 Stars Club. All that stuff Takaichi said about me was stuck in the back of my mind too. All these different things got so tied up together that I couldn't make heads or tails of what I should do. I stopped walking and looked up at the sky. There were a few stars in the autumn sky, and it seemed so empty. Among them, near the apex of the sky, I saw 4 bright stars making a quadrilateral. These last few years, it's gotten really bright around here. Even the autumn square looks pale. It was also known as the Great Square of Pegasus. One of the great signs of autumn, these second magnitude stars now appeared as faint as a third or fourth magnitude. As the streetlights grew brighter, the stars were washed from the night sky. They end up looking darker. The night sky I had watched as a little boy, it was much brighter. Stars, huh?
かつて星を見ていたのなら覚えているはずよ。冴え渡る夜空に星を追う楽しさを、空の断りを一つ一つ解き明かしていく喜びを。
When she looked right into my eyes like that, I couldn't speak. Because I felt like I knew. Please. Personal space. Those eyes eager with the light of the heavens that had found its way into our young hearts, pure and clean as the winter sky. My chest grew tight and I couldn't breathe, so I lowered my gaze. I wanted to forget it all and move on, but I kept retracing those old steps. Standing beneath the starry sky, I suddenly felt afraid and started walking again. Kotaro looked ahead and suddenly started barking. Unknown girl. Is that just gonna be Ikari just like munching on something? A young woman was coming from the other direction. She stared at her smartphone and mumbled something.
どういうことだこれ。
Actually, it seems to be silver hair again. The girl raised her head when Kotaro barked. I could see a strained expression on her face in the light of the screen. She had well-defined, lovely features. She looked about my age, but I didn't know her. What could she be doing at this time of night? Quiet down. Sorry about that. Kotaro wagged his tail and started to jump, so I pulled him back and tried to get him to settle down. If this had been a stranger, he would have been afraid and wouldn't have moved.
Kotaro?
Oh, I do believe that is her. The red hair. What was the white then? Huh? Just then, you could hear the creak and rattle of the rails, signaling a train coming from far off in the distance.
やっぱあれ逃したら1時間待ちだよ。
And having said that, she took off running. Like some sort of sports car, she hit top speed immediately and blew past me like the wind. As she did so, our eyes met for an instant. Yep, that's her.
Huh?
But she was off. Her ponytails trailing behind her as she raced off to catch the arriving train. I watched her fading shape dumbstruck and looked at Kotaro. She a friend of yours? Huh. Well, she used the train station often. It was only natural for her to know Kotaro. Looking in the direction she had run, I muttered to myself. She was like a comet. The way she flew through the night, her ponytails trailing behind her like ionized gas and dust, reminded me of a twin-tailed comet. Ah, yes. You're here. Beautiful, like ionized gas and dust. Makes me fucking sneeze. I got allergies. I'm back.
お疲れさ。気をつけて帰るんだよ。
I'm back. I'm better than ever. I don't know why I started singing all of a sudden. Wait, is he crashing at the astronomy club place? As soon as I got back to my room, I switched on my electric heater. Where the forecast said tonight would be as cold as the end of December. Set up my cartridge stove, and next to that, my portable camp stove, and turned on the fire. Put some pot of Odin on the cartridge stove, and on the camp stove, a can of roast chicken. It's really delicious if you open the can and scorch the top a little. Also had 3 rice balls we were going to throw out at the shop. I was lucky, they'd had some salmon-filled ones left. Oh, salmon, I fucking adore salmon. And that was my dinner. So hungry. As chicken juices started to scorch and put out a delicious smell, my stomach started rumbling, but I still had some time before the Odin warmed up. Oh, better watch out. Watching the steam start to rise, I remembered the telescope I had set up in the corner of the room. I just dropped the goddamn bottle opener, like an absolute fucking idiot. Ah, there we go. Moisture was the great enemy of lenses. Guess I'd better put it away. Even though I'd gone to all the trouble of cleaning it up, it was going back in its case without being used. It'd be nice if next year we got a member who'd actually use you, huh? The reason I was in the astronomy club wasn't because I wanted to look at the stars. I was in it because I could stay in the room. The astronomy club had plenty of outdoor goods, and for purposes of astronomical observation, it was easy to get permission to stay overnight. Of course, if I'd said that wasn't my reason for joining, I know I would have gotten permission. I was invited by the president. He told me that if the club didn't get any new members, it was in danger of being closed. When I asked if it was okay to sleep in the club room, he said of course, and as someone with astronomy experience, I was a welcome addition. And so they started calling me the astronomer who never looks at the stars. Turned off the camp stove with the canned chicken and took a book out of the pile of my stuff in the corner. Oh look, a beginner's guide to astronomy! It was an astronomy book for kids, yellowed with age and torn in several places. I opened the book and a letter fell from between its pages. It was held closed with a cute little bunny sticker. I'd gotten it 4 years earlier. I never opened it.
お前さ、光のことをそろそろ吹っ切れ。
I feel like you would know where Hikari went if you just fucking opened it, you absolute fucking nonce! What? I need to read it just because of what Take said. Feeling an unpleasant sweat break out on my forehead, I gathered up my resolve, and just then... Huh. It's from Komako. What's this?
元気なかったみたいだからサービスだよ。
Yes! Whoa! Is that a cleavage? It's not gonna be a cleavage, it's gonna be that old trick. That old trick. Now so much! Komako's pubes are huge! It was a picture of a woman's cleavage, and though I felt a little guilty, I also thought of how Orihime were. The Orihimes were probably the same size. So this was a grown woman. Such a simple gift! Such a bold gift! Or is that just what people do in the big city? Still clutching my phones, my hands started to tremble. Lessons they had when I was clutching that 4-year-old unopened letter, perhaps even more.
どうした？なんか反応くれないと恥ずかしいんだけど。あ、もしかしてアキトくん貧乳派？それならそうと早く言ってくれれば。
Thank you so much! You really cheered me up!
素直でよろしい。
I had a feeling I had been trying to decide something very important, but it was all gone. I was in such a good mood, and to top it off, the pot of Odin started to bubble. Letter? What letter? I put the letter back between the pages of, wow, look, a beginner's guide to astronomy! I returned the book to its place, and sat on my bed as if nothing had happened. Hot, hot, hot. I opened the lid and steam billowed out. The room filled with a cloud of steam. Radish, potatoes, fish cakes, cabbage rolls, octopus, and much more. The ingredients glinted golden and wet with soup through the steam. The pot was like an overflowing treasure chest. Time to eat. I offered up my thanks to Saya for bringing it to me and her family for making it, and grabbed my chopsticks. Oh, this radish is so good. The potatoes are so tender. It was a cold evening. The first touch of winter was in the air. The hot pot of Odin, the flavor seeping deep into every bite, warmed my body and soul. Look at the fucking letter, you idiot. Oh, that's just time skip. Good to know. Guess that means that's morning, that's like middle of the day, that's night. You've been lying to us the whole time anyway. Our planetary observational journal was in terrible shape, just like us. From that day on, I could no longer look at the stars. That line was probably someone screaming off the top of their lungs, and I just decided, yes, you lied. I am Mr.
高価な
Roboto.
望遠鏡より一人一つの双眼鏡をモットーに活動しております。ですので、これはちょっと。
President of the Moromisawa Technical Institute's Astronomy Club was dressed in a black uniform coat with a high collar. He spoke with a gentle, apologetic tone that didn't match his expression. As if to put an end to his reluctance, another voice interrupted.
つーか、論外っしょ。ありえない。
The girl with the harsh voice and shaking ponytails was Nishihai's club president. Listening to their objections, the pair from Meiko Academy, the club president from Amahai, and I all stared at the papers in our hands. There was a scent of danger in the air. How did we end up here again? 30 minutes earlier!
ようこそおいでくださいました。皆様。こうして天文を愛する仲間たちと一堂に会することができたことを心より嬉しく思います。
just Akito yeah, fuck astronomy though? That's just me? Okay. Well, the EMS looked hopefully at each other. At each of us. She was celebrating the auspicious first meeting of the newly revived Six Stars Club.
まずは各校代表者に自己紹介をしていただきましょうか。では私から明光学院天文部前部長タイエタの白鳥織姫3年です。
A quiet round of applause rose.
同じく1年で現部長の吉岡です。
Everyone likely already knew them both, and the response felt rehearsed. At Orima's urging, the girl next to her stood up.
天の中天文部部長エレクトラの加納典子です。2年生です。よろしくお願いします。
She was obviously quite nervous. Amanonaka, known as Amahai, is a public school on the very southern edge of Hoshinonaka City. What used to be Amanonaka City was the newly developed seaward side of town, and although it was a public school, it had a metropolitan atmosphere that all the young people in town found really attractive. Even the uniform had a sophisticated, stylish look. Speaking of, according to what Honoka had said a few days ago, Amahai's astronomy club had only one member, just like ours, which would, of course, make her the sole member. The president from Amahai sat down with a relieved expression, and the next person stood.
天の中西地学部部長のなんだっけアルキオネです。
Archione.
ああ、そうそう。アルキオネの陣のなるえ。
Archione.
2年だ。
There we go.
よろしくな。
the club president from Amanonaka Nishi High School, usually known as Nishi High, gave a casual greeting. The way she looked around at everyone, whipping her ponytail without a trace of timidity, gave everyone the feeling she was not one to compromise. She had used the name Earth Sciences Club, but in lots of schools, astronomy and earth sciences are combined. Actually, in some so-called Earth Sciences clubs, they only did astronomy, although I didn't know if that was the case at Nishi High. Just like Daiichi, it was a perfectly normal public school, but from what Honoka had said, it once had the most active group of all. And you said it once had as many as 36 members? Naruto's tense confidence might have something to do with that history. After her, a large muscular boy in a long black school coat stood up.
諸見沢工業天文部部長寺山の田尻であります。2年です。どうぞよろしくお願いします。
The club president from the vocational boys' school, Moromisawa Technical, usually called Moromi, gave an enthusiastic spirit club style introduction. Moromi was on the north edge of what is now Hoshinonaka City, what used to be Hoshino City. It was so far away that I didn't know much about it. Just judging by first impressions, he didn't really seem the astronomy type. In fact, his build seemed more suited for playing center on the basketball team.
好きな星座はオリオン座です。あのたくましさに憧れます。
For some reason, he blushed as he spoke.
わかります。星座の形も整ってて美しいですし、いろいろと見応えあっていいよね。初心者向けって感じだけど。
Okay, calm down. And just as it seemed some conversation was starting off, all eyes turned to me, the only one left. As I stood up and started to introduce myself, I suddenly wanted to make it as short as possible. It's not like I was nervous or anything, it's just that something that started to bother me. Taigeta, Electra, Alcyon. What the hell were they talking about? I'm only a first year, but I'm the president of Hoshino Daiichi's astronomy club, Akto Sorami.
あなたにも教えたはずよ。星野第一に冠された特別な名を。
But, Mamma Mia?
マイヤです。彼こそがプレアデス7姉妹の長女の名を持つマイヤの空見明人よ。
Everyone made an ooh sound, and there was scattered clapping. What was with this weird atmosphere? So, what exactly does that mean anyway?
プレアデス星団をご存知ないのですか?
Yeah, that much I know. The Pleiades cluster was a beautiful star cluster that ruled the winter sky, beloved by astronomy fans everywhere. The Japanese name was Subaru. Since it was used by the car manufacturer, lots of people knew that name. The Pleiades cluster had a lot of other names, one of which was the Six Stars. I guess it got that name because when you look with the naked eye, it seems to be made up of 6 bright stars, but I don't know for sure. They say people with really good eyes can discover a 7th, 8th, and even more stars within it. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I count 10. Debatably even 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, the 19th one is a bit of a stretch. But yeah, 18. Like, I count 18. Like, sure, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, these 8 aren't as bright as the 10. But still. Long ago, when the stars at night were brighter, there was apparently someone who was able to make out more than 20 distinct stars. I mean, suddenly the 19 doesn't feel too much of a stretch. Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, okay, I was counting that one. Okay, I'm not a fucking retard then. Nice. I prefer not being retarded.
プレアデス星団のうち明るい7つの星にはそれぞれ美しい姉妹の名が付けられているのよ。長女マイヤ、エレクトラ、 タイエタ、アルキオーネ、ケラエノ、アステローペ、そして末の妹メローペ。星になる前の彼女たちは月の女神アルテミスに仕える侍女だったの。
I had known that the stars of the Pleiades cluster all had names, but I didn't know each name, nor where they had come from. Anyways, the term star cluster refers to a massive group of stars all in one place. In the Pleiades, the naked eye can make out 6 or maybe even 7 stars. However, with a telescope, you can see tons of stars all crowded together. In reality, it's a cloud of young stars gathered around in a point in space about 443 light years away. That cloud is considered to be one celestial object and has been given the designation M45, more commonly known as the Pleiades cluster. No, that's not what I meant. I meant, what do those 7 sisters have to do with our schools? What do you mean at this, oh no, not again, look on her face. Yes, 6!
ムツラ星とはプレアデス星団の別名。我々がそれぞれに姉妹の名を持つのは当然の成り行きではないかしら。
Question, can you count? There's 5 people currently present. There's 5 people present! There's 5 people present, it's the 6 Stars Club, and there's 7 sisters! Do you see what is wrong with this? I don't really think it was all that natural. I mean, the numbers don't add up, for one thing. I was a little merope.
あんたの気持ちはわかる、星野大一さん。けど、それが昔からの習わしなんだってさ。
President from Nishi High said, her voice full of resignation. So there's something that the alumni decided, huh? Must have really enjoyed the whole thing. There's no way I'm going to remember all that. It's way too complicated. Why don't we just stop it?
心配はご無用です。この名はいわば秘密の名ですので、普段口にすることはありません。
All the other members, besides Orihime, seemed to be relaxed at Honoka's words. Orihime looked like she actually wanted to use those names all the time.
今回、誠に残念ながら、アステローペ、すなわち聖戦女子の方々にはご参加いただけませんでした。
Something tells me that's gonna be us. Saya.
てか、あそこってまだ活動してんの？
一応天文部は存在しているようです。実態は不明。
Says Girls School was a public all-girls high school, and their academic level was the highest in the area. It was an old school predating the Second World War and was known for its really rigid school traditions. It's unlikely that the students would be comfortable mingling unofficially with people from other schools. Wadima's announcement seemed to take the cheer out of everyone. This might be a little difficult to get out of. If I stood up and said I wasn't going to participate now, I wonder what kind of look they would give me. So I had to wait until the meeting finished and quietly tell Orihime and let Orihime know.
質問よろしいでしょうか。
President from Moromisawa raised his hand up.
どうぞ。
ムツラ星の会を復活させる目的は各校天文部の活性化にあると聞きました。
Orihime nodded
その
gracefully.
ための具体的な方策はあるのでしょうか。
確かに。ただ集まって星を見るだけじゃ普通の合同観測会と変わらないわよね。
Orihime had a small smile to match her confident expression.
吉岡。
Honoka handed everyone a sheet of paper. It was a list of club members at every school and a summary of their
ご覧
equipment.
の通り、我々が所有する機材はお世辞にも充実しているとは言えません。
On close study, it looks like the most expensive piece was Meikoku Academy's reflecting telescope. The aperture wasn't so great, but apparently it had an equatorial mount. Apart from that, Nishi High had a digital single lens reflex camera with a wide-angle lens for night sky photography that looked pretty expensive. Moromisawa was like our school. They only had beginner stuff. And when we came to Amahai, who didn't even have... And then we came to Amahai, who didn't even have a telescope.
我が名工学院天文部もかつて部員数がゼロになり休部となった時期がありました。 その期間に多くの機材や備品が紛失し、今も出てきていません。
There you go.
嘆かわしい。
I wonder if it had been thrown away or put in some storage building, or if maybe someone had just taken it. Our club probably had a similar problem.
このままではたとえ6個集まったとしてもより高度な活動は行えないわ。そこで私は提案します。皆で資金を出し合って天体望遠鏡を購入しようじゃありませんか。
Rima's proposal caused a bit of commotion.
その望遠鏡は新星六つ星の希望となり、
いいかもしれないね。っていうか、そのくらいのメリットがないと一緒にやる意味がないよ。
Hold on,
その
let's
望
try
遠
to
鏡は
finish.
新星六つ星の希望となり、結束の象徴となるでしょう。
そうかもしれません。
うち望遠鏡を持ってないんで、そうしていただけるととてもありがたいです。
While all the other school reps were busy reacting, I asked the question. About how much money are we talking? Despite having no intention of joining, I went and asked a silly
費
question.
用の内訳と各校の負担は2枚目の用紙にまとめてあります。
Everyone turned the page, and then recoiled in horror.
なんじゃこ
どうかなさいまして。
I understood why everyone was so shocked. The price written there went quite beyond everyone just chipping in a bit.
ご安心ください。不参加の聖戦女子の分は我が校が負担します。
そういう問題じゃないでしょこれ。
そうですね。
It looked like Orima genuinely didn't see what the problem was. The price they'd written down was almost equal to a full month's part-time wages. For clubs like ours, we're having issues with membership numbers. Our budget would never come close to covering an expense like that. Of course, to buy a real good telescope, it really would cost that much.
より高度な活動を行っていくためですのよ。そのための出費ならば仕方がありませんわ。後々後輩たちに受け継がれることを考えても、中途半端なもので済ませるわけには参りません。
うちは高価な望遠鏡より一人一つの双眼鏡をモットーに活動しております。ですので、これはちょっと。
つうか、論外っしょ。ありえない。こんなお金あったらカメラのレンズ買うっつうの。バカらしい。
The president from Nishii stood up, waving the paper in disgust as she spoke.
悪いけど、うちら抜けさせてもらうわ。
金額にご不満なら話し合いで。
It looked like Narue was in no mood to listen
しょ
anymore.
っぱなからこれ出してくる人が仕切ってるところで、まともに活動できるとは思えないわ。合同観測会とかあるなら、喜んで参加するからさ。ま、今まで通り仲良くしてちょうだい。じゃあね。
自分も。
Moromi's president stood up
待っ
sadly.
てちょうだい。これは天文の発展とこれから天文の道を志す後輩たちのために必要なことなのよ。もし不満が終わりならせめて話し合って。
うちは今の活動で満足していますので。
Kesuke made his polite goodbyes and left.
そんな。
Two schools had already left, and they were only 30 minutes into the first meeting. Everyone was staring in silent shock, as if they couldn't understand what had happened. Left behind, I thought to myself, I waited way too long. I missed my chance to say I wasn't going to join. I mean, two already left, so now's the best chance to say that, really. The sun and the moon traveled around the earth.
エントロピーの増大ですわ。宇宙の終焉ですわ。
Muttering under her breath, Orihime sat in the corner of the clubroom, hugging her knees and spinning the spherical astrolabe. Oh, okay. So I take back the whole it was the best moment. I do believe I do believe she's going into some kind of psychological breakdown. Help her. She had been so enthusiastic, and now she was an empty shell.
会長、元気を出してください。そうです。まだ3つの学校が残っているわけですし。
I was certain that she was still counting my school, Hoshino Daiichi. As I thought about this, I drank the aromatic tea and ate the candied fruit Honoka had given me. Really enjoyed the sugary treats. Apparently she had bought these from a really famous and expensive shop just for today's meeting. It was another sign of just how into all of this they were.
すべて私のせいだわ。私が世間知らずなばかりにこんな結果に。
She put it kind of harshly, but I felt like Narue had a point, which should have made it kind of weird that I hadn't left when she did. When she did, except that I felt this weird kind of power coming from Orihime. Yes, you could say she made me feel hopeful. We'd only met twice, so I couldn't really say I knew her well enough, but I couldn't deny her when she said she didn't know about the real world.
今夜の官房会はどうしましょうか。官房会?
Orihime repeated the phrase as if she had just remembered something. They had planned an observation meet, a chance to look at the sky, and to just hang out for this evening.
とてもそんな気分にはなれないわ。
Honoka nodded like she'd known before she asked. Noriko from Amahai looked disappointed when she saw that. She opened her mouth as if to say something, but nothing came out. Amahai's astronomy club had only one member, just like Daiichi's. I bet she'd really been looking forward to tonight's meetup.
今後のことはまた仕切り直すことにして。今日のところは。
No, we should still do it. I said, interrupting Honoka. Why does she look the most astonished out of everyone? Like, I think she's the only one in this room that currently that doesn't know that he doesn't look at the stars anymore. So the other two should be the surprised ones. Everyone looked at me surprised. I mean, we've already gathered together like this, and, well, stars are only visible tonight, right?
空見くん。私、やりたいです、官房会。加納さん。
Orihime wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes.
そうですわね。私たちが集まって星を見ないだなんてありえませんわ。吉岡、準備を。はい、会長。
Orihime had regained her enthusiasm, and the group began their stargazing preparations. Forcing a smile on my face, I thought to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh boy, now you've done it. Now it would be even harder to quit.
I 私、実は初めてなんです、官房会って。だから、今日楽しみにしてきました。今まで部活でやらなかったんですか？
Remember the whole no equipment thing? Yeah.
うち、望遠鏡ありませんし、それに、先輩たちも星にあまり詳しくなくて、その先輩たちも引退してしまった後は、ずっと一人で活動してました。
Said dissolvingly, likely thinking back on all those lonely days of solitary club activities, but a smile rose on her lips.
だから、ムスラ星の会のお話を聞いたとき、とても嬉しかったし、すぐに参加しますって返事をしたんですよ。そうだったんですか。そのお気持ち、わかります。うちも会長がいなくなってしまったら、私一人になってしまいますから。
Wait, didn't she say that there's 3 members discounting the president? What do you mean you'll be on your own?
他にも部員さんいらっしゃるんですよね。月食など天体ショーがある時にだけ顔を出す人たちなので。
Okay.
そうなんですか。
Orihime listened to their conversation with a complicated expression on her face, then turned to me and nodded.
さっきはありがとう。あなたがああして声を上げてくださらなかったら、あのまま解散してしまうところだったわ。
No, I didn't do anything. I felt a bit of smile rise. I'd only come to tell them I wasn't joining, but just when I should have said so, I ended up encouraging the meetup. I was shocked at my own contradictory behavior.
加納さんのような境遇の方にも天文を楽しんでいただくためのムツラ星の会なのに。 自分の不甲斐なさに落ち込んでそれを見失うだなんて本当にダメだわ私。神野さんのおっしゃる通り。
Come on now, that's not true. You don't need to take all this on yourself. Orihime. She hadn't called us out, this meeting never would have happened. I had to admire the kind of enthusiasm that could persuade people from all these different schools to come and meet after years of silence. And now, here I am, apparently getting ready to join them in stargazing. Me, the astronomer who never looks at the stars. Anyway, I've already taken the night off work. I had no idea where they were planning to go stargazing, but as the only guy, I took on the responsibilities like carrying heavy things and watching over the girls.
次じゃありませんか？はい、そうです。
Noriko checked on her smartphone and pushed the bus's stop signal. The next stop? Bus stop in front of Mikazuki Station. Meaning, of course, right in front of the stop and by. Kotaro noticed me immediately as I got off the bus and raised his head, ears twitching. But more and more strangers got off the bus. He squirmed into his doghouse and hid. Are you taking the train from here?
いいえ、こっちです。
With her phone in hand, Noriko took the lead. Wondered why she was guiding. I didn't really understand, but since Orihime seemed happy to follow her lead, I went along after. Are you sure this is the right way?
この先に星を見るのにちょうどいい場所があるんです。
It's the train station, isn't it? Or not? Huh. This way. Noriko in front, we walked down a country road, past a few scattered houses, and soon a large bridge-like structure appeared. It was an enormous concrete wall leading back the river, the dam. Looks like she said, checking her smartphone map. We crossed over the walkway on top of the dam.
これが星のダムですか。大きいですわね。
Orihime said in an astonished tone. For a dam, it probably wasn't that big. But when seen from up close like this, it really felt like something.
どうかなさったの？
Oh no, not really. Just brings back some old memories. There used to be a bridge over there. I said while pointing at to a spot downriver.
星？
Yeah. She seemed to be waiting for more about the bridge. I didn't want to explain any further, and she just looked at me, puzzled. Pretending not to notice her gaze, I looked out over the lake formed by the dam. Orange stars were reflected off the deep blue surface of the water. Didn't want to admit it, but it was a beautiful sight. Part of our village was under that lake. Mikazuki Village, the village where we had spent our childhood. Guess it's only a home for fish now. On the other side of the dam, the road started to climb the mountainside. We continued a while down the rough, broken asphalt before Noriko spoke again.
こっちです。多分。
We turned away from the old road and started down a trackless path. Though they'd been happily following this far, Honoka and Orihime's faces started to look uneasy when...
着きました。
Or not, huh? It's not the train station. Too bad. Noriko had led us to wide open space on the side of the small mountain. There were no large trees here, and the world spread out before us. Orihime looked around, her eyes sparkling with excitement, even though she should have been exhausted from the walk up.
いい場所だわ。空が広くて邪魔な光もありませんし、あちら側は遠くの山まで見渡せますね。そうなんですか？ああ、よかった。
Her big job completed successfully, Noriko breathed a sigh of relief. Unbelievable. This is the place. Muttered unknowingly, a wry smile on my face. I'd been here before. It was located just outside Mikazuki Village. We used to come here all the time to see the stars. Wait, so is this the train station? It was hard to get to, but I was certain there was no better place than all of Oshinonaka City to observe the night sky. It had hardly changed at all in 4 years. It's full of memories, of For someone who had given up stargazing, it was also painful.
さあ皆さん、暗くなる前に準備に取り掛かりましょう。
At Orihime's urging, everyone set down their luggage and got ready for the stargazing meetup.
コタちゃん、お手。おかわり。おかわりだよ、コタちゃん。それは伏せだよ。おかわりはね、お腹見せるんじゃなくて。
Listen to me, please.
相変わらず半端にしか芸を覚えない犬だね。賢いんだかアホなんだか。
あ、先生、こんばんは。
はいよ。あいつ
Whoops.
天文部の集まりに行ってるんだって。おかげで店番やらされて散々だわよ。探訪会やるって話だけど、何？あいつまた星を見る気になったの？
そうじゃないみたいです。断るつもりだって言ってたから。
なんだ。で、あんたは何してるの？
私はコタちゃんと遊ぼうと思って。
なるほど。あいつが結局どうしたのか気になって家にいても落ち着かないからここで待ってると。赤くなっちゃってまあ。けなげじゃないの。いいね、若いってのは。
先生だってまだまだ若いですよ。自信持ってください。
Yo, I think Octo can't look her in the eyes anymore because I see because I see some stars in there.
ちょっとこっち来なさい。こめかみグリグリの毛だ。
She literally just said she's still young. What's bad about that? Twist, twist, twist.
そんな気遣いいらんのじゃ。
It didn't sound like pity. Twist, twist, twist.
コタちゃん、助けて。
若いあんたにはまだわかんないでしょうけど、アラサーには触れてはならないデリケートゾーンがあるのよ。特にニートのアラサーには注意なさい。見た目はこんなやさぐれてても、その内面は年頃の娘のように。
That's the thing, though. You look like you could be like maybe 1 year above her, which is impressive.
わかりました。
グリグリして悪かったわね。なでなでしてあげるわ。ほんと、こんな可愛い子に心配かけて悪い男ね、あいつは。
アキトくんってまだ星を見てるんです。
え、そうなの？でもあいつ星を見ない天文部員とか言われてるんじゃ。
時々どうしても見たくなった時は一人で山に登ってるんです。
あれってそうだったんだ。ま、星は見ないとか言いながら天文部にいるようなやつだしね。
でもあんまり楽しそうじゃないみたいです。山に行った次の日にも星の話してくれたことないし。アキトくんすぐ顔に出るからなんとなくわかるんです。
You know what I talked about earlier. Like, she doesn't seem all that smaller than her. At least right now.
あんたはどうしたいの？
私ですか？
ここでそうやってけなげしてるのは何のため？
私はあっくんにまた星を見てほしい。昔みたいにアルビレオの時みたいに。でも私じゃダメだから。
んなことないと思うけど。サヤみたいな可愛い子にお願いされたら、あの年頃の男子なら何だって言うこと聞いてくれるんじゃないの？全国大会連れてってくれたらキスしてあげるみたいにさ。ほら、
言ってみ言ってみ。
There's no nationals!
大会連れてってくれたら
There's no nationals for astronomy clubs.
あげる。
Like, Miharu's just... That was a bit too destructive. Oh no, that's just the star pulsating! I felt like, did I just see something black back there move? But no, it was just the star pulsating because it's a little bitch! Anyways,
妬ましいくらい初々しくて可愛らしいわね。恥ずかしいよ。ま、今夜の観望会がまた星を見るきっかけにでもなればいいんだけどね。はい。
By the time we'd gotten Mako Academy's astronomical telescope all set up, the world around us had fallen into complete darkness.
今夜はあいにくの満月。観望には向かない夜ですわね。どうして満月じゃダメなんですか？
Light pollution. Moon is really bright. On a clear night, you can read by the light of the full moon. That bright light washes out the fainter light of the stars.
そうなんですか？私の勉強不足で無理を言ってしまい。問題ありませんわ。その分今夜は晴れてますし。
If we continued looking together in the Six Stars Club, we'd eventually have perfect nights for observation too. Working together, not looking together. I'm a fucking idiot. But there are only three schools left, and if I drop out, that would leave two. That might make things a bit difficult.
望遠鏡、覗いてみてもいいですか？何がいいでしょうか？秋の夜空で見頃な天体と言ったら。
You all look up, pondering the sky. The autumn sky is considered the most boring of the four seasons, with few particularly bright bodies.
せっかくだから何か派手なものが二重星か星雲か。
There's the Andromeda Galaxy. I blurted out when the thought came to me, and Orihime turned to me.
いいですわね。そうしましょう。よしようか。では少し倍率を下げましょう。
Honoka adjusted the telescope with practiced movements. It was a Newtonian reflecting telescope. It had an equatorial mount, and after polar alignment, you could find any celestial body you wanted by entering the coordinates. For a school club, it was quite extravagant.
写真でなら見たことあります。すごく大きいんですよね。確か。
Luriko said, looking straight up into the sky. We were searching for a galaxy different from ours, out there in the dark. But without knowing where to look, no one would ever find it. Do you know how to find the Great Square?
はい。その一つから連なっているのがアンドロメダ座ですよね。
I assume this is supposed to be the Great Square, because it looks quite square. You see a kind of fuzzy body around the Andromeda knee. I guess they mean this one by fuzzy. I don't fucking know.
見えるよ。
I don't know. I don't know astronomy. I played all of Hoshiyori Yumamina. It didn't get jack shit. Like every time they were like, "Oh my god, look at this pretty constellation." I was here. Like every time they were like, "Oh, look at this pretty constellation," I was just sat there like. So what the? Which of the 10,000 stars is the one you want me to look at? Cause I don't see shit! Anyways, this object, that, unlike the other stars around it, looks like a fuzzy patch of light, is the Andromeda Galaxy. It's the nearest galaxy to our own Milky Way.
わからない。
Yeah, I think the full moon is a bit too bright.
導入できました。どうぞ。
Honoka stepped aside and Noriko looked through the
これ
telescope.
が本物のアンドロメダ大金河。なんだか写真で見たのと違いますね。もわっとしてるというか。写真は大抵画像処理されているから、 肉眼では少々地味に感じるかもしれないわね。そうかも。
Oriko's voice sounded a little disappointed. Orihime hated to hear words like bland or ordinary, so you'd expect her to be disappointed, but she smiled
け
instead.
ど写真では決して見ることのできないものを今あなたは見ているのよ。写真では見られないもの？230万年前の光よ。230万年前
Oriko blinked at this extraordinary number suddenly thrown at
あ
her.
なたが今見てるのはずーっと昔のアンドロメダ大銀河の姿なのよ。
That object is 2.3 million light years away, right? Orihime nodded, smiling
気が
widely.
遠くなるような遥かな虚空の彼方に浮かぶ4000億個の星々の大集団が放った光。230万年という永遠にも等しい時を超えて宇宙を旅してきたその光をあなたは今見ているのよ。この地球の大地からご自分の目で。
That small-ass slide probably rancid by now. That was a bad joke.
すごいスケールですね。
Oriko sighed as she looked through the telescope. A picture only shows the shape of a thing. The true light of it is lost. At that moment, looking up like that at the stars, they were taking in their true light.
空見くんもほら覗いてみてください。
Noriko said excitedly. Oh, no thanks, I'm good. I've seen it before. As I tried to back away from the telescope, Orihime reached out and grabbed the hem of my jacket to stop me. Then,
そう言わずにね。
she said coaxingly, looking up at me with puppy dog eyes. Who knew that older beautiful girls could command such powerful weapons of persuasion? Okay, maybe just a little. Unable to resist, I bent over to look through the lowered eyepiece. After a quiet, deep breath, I looked through the telescope and into the realm of the stars. Light filled my vision. Even at this low magnification, the massive galaxy covered the telescope's field of vision. It spat out at an angle, a patch of hazy light, recognizable as the clear spiral you see in pictures. But I knew it. I knew that patch of light came from stars floating on the other side of the near-endless void. I knew that 2.3 million year old light was the truth of a galaxy crowded with over 400 billion stars. M31, the Andromeda Galaxy. I was looking at the light of countless stars in a place that our current civilization could never ever reach. I was overcome with the sense that I was standing on this clump of rock we call Earth as it floated through the void. I felt like I was about to leave the Earth, to embark on a distant journey to the realm of the stars themselves. Yet, in the next instant, I was visited with a deeply unpleasant sensation, and my elation evaporated, leaving my heart cold. Suddenly full of loneliness, anxiety, and irritation, as if I had been cast off alone into the dark sky. It was hard to breathe. Jumped away from the telescope, as if I'd woken up from a nightmare.
もういいの？
Yes. When I left the telescope, Orihime stepped up, eager to take her turn. Then, after Honoka's turn, the three girls excitedly talked about what they saw. They looked so happy. It was easy to see how much they liked the stars. Those smiling faces glowed just as brightly as the Andromeda Galaxy in the telescope had. I'm going to go have a look over there. Didn't know if they heard or not, but I went anyway. The forest grew thick a bit further uphill from where everyone was talking. I wandered around up there. No matter how bright the full moon, it was still dark in the woods. At the end of this path is going to be the train station, and at the train station there's going to be Hikari. For some fucking reason. I walked down the path, lighting the way with my phone. I felt so lonely. I always felt this way when I looked up at the stars. Whenever I glimpsed at the distant, twinkling world of the stars, I yearned for them. Yet, no matter how deeply I hoped, I knew I could never reach them. Numb, matter how far I stretched out my hand, I could never touch them. I would feel as abandoned in the endless dark, and breathing would become difficult. It's just too much for eyes accustomed to the dark. Oh! Oh! Oh, the edge! The edge! Hold on. I just feel the need to. The edge! Hold on, that's the wrong channel. Whoops, I'm a fucking idiot. Goddamn psychopath. It had been so long since I had seen stars through the telescope. It had been so bright they burned my eyes. Even after I'd left, the brightness remained in the back of my eyes. So I wandered in that dark place where I couldn't see the stars. After walking mindlessly for a while, I suddenly saw the night sky beyond the trees. If I walked any further, I'd come to the edge of the woods, and there would be a girl. Why do I suddenly feel the urge to just smack the fan with my flip-flops? I did it. It was so dark I couldn't quite make it out. Silhouette of large rectangular shape floating in the darkness, reflecting a bit of the moonlight. It's still here. Did I somehow go back in time as I wandered these woods? Or could it be that this was a special space, somehow outside the normal flow of time? The train car was still here. I climbed up on the platform and stared at the train stopped here, unchanged after all these years. Couldn't see if it had changed at all in the dark. The windows were pitch black as well. The platform was overgrown with weeds and withered ivy twisted over it. But it didn't seem to have changed at all from 4 years ago. With an odd feeling, as if I were in a dream, I walked around the train car. And oh, would you look at that? I found someone. Someone was standing there on the train. Girl? The area around us was covered in darkness, yet that shape seemed to glow, giving off a faint white light that didn't let the darkness near. Bathed in moonlight, she stood there like a prima donna on stage. Goddess of the moon, don't you fucking call her Artemis? This uncharacteristic thought rose in my mind, likely because of an earlier conversation. But the real reason for that feeling could have been the way she was standing, her hands raised to the sky. She was reaching out as if she could catch the stars. I think I've seen her somewhere. That's right, it was the girl I ran into near the station when I was out walking Kotaro a while back. I remembered her ponytails trailing out like the trails of a comet. And yet, that knowledge didn't shake the goddess-like feeling about her. Honestly, meeting her here, like this, only strengthened her mystique. Hup! Sudden melody coming from my pocket almost gave me a heart attack. Seemed to give the girl standing on the train one too. She whipped around to look at me in surprise. I'm not a creep. Yeah, real convincing. I pulled out my phone and answered without checking the name of the caller. Hello? Oh, sorry, I just thought I'd take a walk around. Right, I'll be right there. I hung up on the phone and looked up to find the girl still staring at me. But while she had looked confused at first, now she was staring as if trying to figure something out.
Akito.
Huh?
Akito だよね。
How does she know my name? And that voice. Hikari? Called out, half convinced, half unbelieving. I was completely confused as she stared down at me with an elated expression and gave me a peace sign. Why is she on good terms with him? It looked like falling out before she vanished with the whole "You lied to us!" 4 years ago, it seemed pretty extreme. Or was that after she vanished and Octo just threw a hissy fit? Full moon still bathed her face and her figure in pale light. Is it gonna be a case of her literally writing the letter to tell him, hey, sadly my parents are gonna be moving, so probably be gone for some years, but I'm sure we'll meet again. Make sure of it. Maybe, possibly, 4 years down the line, when he's just threw a hissy fit, didn't fucking read it. And he's just like, I told you I'll be coming. What? The letter? Oh, I'm an idiot! I actually smacked my forehead there. The full moon bathed her face and her figure in pale light. It was mystical, like some flawed CGI out of a movie. But they talking about flawed CGI. Fucking look back earlier in the fucking video. Do it now. Like it was some bizarre dream. Like it was anything but real. Can't be. Completely unable to grasp what was happening. But that voice was unmistakably real. It was Hikari's voice, and one I knew so well. Alright, would you look at that? A amazing point to end the video. After this, of course. Why is the one we haven't seen yet called Corona? That's... I already know what I'm gonna name the part, but we'll first see her. Because that's one sick heroine. I hate myself! I'll see you guys next time! Bye-bye!